Lewis Hamilton is a British F1 driver who drove for two teams, McLaren and Mercedes, where he currently drives. Due to risen popularity of F1, mostly through the series of Netflix Drive to Survive, F1 gained a massive number of new fans. If you are a new fan to the sport and you look at the standings in 2022 without having an idea about the past of the sport, you'd think that Hamilton is just one of those mediocre drivers who has a decent car and isn't fulfilling the shoes he's wearing. However, we are here to tell you the story of Lewis Hamilton and how he became one of the most successful, if not the most successful F1 driver in the history of the sport, being tied for the number of world championships with Michael Schumacher on 7. Hamilton was born on the 7th of January 1985 in Stevenage, United Kingdom. He is currently holding the record for the most wins and pole positions, both tied at 103, and podium finishes 183. However, his road to 7-time world champion wasn't made of silk, and he had to overcome many obstacles throughout his life. Hamilton began his karting career in 1993, winning races and cadet class championships right after starting his career. 2 years after he started his karting career, he became the youngest driver to win the British Cadet Karting Championship at the age of 10, and it was that same year that Hamilton approached McLaren F1 team boss Rob Dennis at the Autosport Awards for an autograph. The famous quote of Hamilton to Rob Dennis was, "Hi, I'm Lewis Hamilton. I won the British Championship, and one day I want to be racing your cars." To which Ron replied, "Phone me in 9 years, we'll sort something out then." In 1998, Dennis called Hamilton, following his second Super 1 Series and British Championship wins, to offer him a role in McLaren driver development program. This contract also included an option of a future Formula One seat, making him the youngest driver to secure a contract that later resulted in a F1 drive. Hamilton continued his growth in the Intercontinental A 1999, Formula A 2000, and Formula Super A 2001 ranks, becoming the European champion with maximum points. One interesting fact is that Nico Rosberg was his teammate in Formula A and Formula Super A, who would be his teammate and his nemesis later on in their careers. The climb continued for the British driver as the first car racing career event of his life started in the 2001 British Formula Renault Winter Series, where he finishes 5th in the standings. This has brought him a full 2002 Formula Renault UK campaign, along with Manor Motorsport, finishing 3rd overall. Hamilton decided to remain with Manor for another year, with whom he won the championship. He also had a short stint in GP2 in the Art Grand Prix team right before he started his F1 career in 2006. He won this championship at his first attempt, beating Nelson Piquet to part ways with Kimi Raikkonen and Juan Pablo Montoya, leaving 2 empty seats that needed to be filled. One would go to the defending champion Fernando Alonso, while another seat went to Lewis Hamilton, marking his beginning of the F1 career. He stayed in McLaren for 5 years, and more importantly, he is the first black driver to do so as of 2021. After finishing on the podium in his debut, Hamilton has completely went to destroy Alonso as his teammate and be the main frontrunner for the title with Kimi Raikkonen, ending up losing the championship with 1 point difference. The clear dominance of Hamilton saw Alonso seeking his place somewhere else, terminating his contract in November. 2008 was the year that Hamilton will probably never forget, as he won his first title with McLaren in a very dramatic and fashionable way. The runner-up was Felipe Massa from Ferrari, and the title was decided at Interlagos GP in Brazil. The rain made the race very much interesting, and Hamilton needed at least P5 to secure his title, no matter where Massa finished. On the last lap, Hamilton overtook Timo Glock to secure P5 and his maiden championship, despite Massa winning the GP, making Hamilton the first British driver to win the World Championship since Damon Hill in 1996. The 2009 was a year to forget because it was the only year in his career that he hasn't won a race throughout the whole season. In the following 3 years of their contract, Hamilton continued to score podiums and some race victories. However, he ended up losing mostly to Sebastian Vettel, who went on to win 4 consecutive championships from 2010 to 2014. Hamilton has decided to join Mercedes in 2013, going on to win 7 championships with them and bringing their glory back to where they belong. However, when Mercedes signed Hamilton, their move was labeled as a gamble. In his first season with Mercedes, Hamilton has managed to win only 1 race with a number of podium finishes and pole positions. 2014 is when Mercedes transformed due to the new regulations introducing the turbo hybrid engines, in which Mercedes won 16 of the 19 races that season, 11 of them being secured by Hamilton, going on to win the title as well. 2016 was the year in which Hamilton lost the title to Nico Rosberg, his teammate and the nemesis of Hamilton that year. There were numerous controversies revolving around this year, all of them culminating with Hamilton disobeying team orders at the season finale in Abu Dhabi, deliberately slowing to back Rosberg into the chasing pack at the end of the race in an unsuccessful bid to encourage other drivers to overtake his teammate, allowing him to win the title. However, many poor starts from Hamilton early in the season and the crucial engine blowout in Malaysia has brought the championship to Rosberg, who retired right after beating his rival. From 2017 to 2020, Hamilton went on to win 4 consecutive championships, with Sebastian Vettel and Ferrari being his closest rival. Many fans do not approve of Hamilton's titles as they believe that he had the best car and no exceptional talent was needed to win championships in that car. His new teammate, Bottas, seemed like a no real threat to Hamilton, and the British driver did manage to beat Vettel twice in 2017 and 2018, with the latter year being labeled as the Fight for 5, in which whoever was to win the title was going to have 5 championships in total. During this year, Hamilton has renewed his contract with Mercedes as he vowed to stay 2 more years with the German producer. 2019 and 2020 were pretty much boring years when it comes to competition, as Ferrari and Red Bulls were facing difficulties regarding the reliabilities of their engines. 2020 was a season that was heavily impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic, and over the shortened 17-race season, Hamilton has managed to win 11 and match Schumacher in overall titles won. However, 2021 was the most interesting season that F1 has witnessed in a long time. For the first time in quite a long period, Hamilton has faced a strong competition in Red Bull and their Honda engine. Max Verstappen was the young challenger, and having nothing to lose, he didn't back out of any fights with the 7-time world champion. In the last race at Abu Dhabi, Verstappen and Hamilton went with equal points as Max managed to win under a controversial decision by the director race, Michael Schumacher, allowing the lapped cars separating Hamilton and Verstappen to unlap themselves. This has eliminated any gap between the pair as Verstappen managed to pit early and have a fresh set of softs while Hamilton was on his worn-down hard tires. Verstappen managed to pass Hamilton and secure his maiden championship, stealing the possibility of Hamilton becoming the record in 1 championships. As of now, Hamilton is probably the most vocal ambassador of F1 when it comes to changes and accepting different cultures. He comes from a place that nobody else knows. Being a driver of color has certainly made his driving experience much harder, which is why he is vocal about certain problems and is very proactive when it comes to equality. 2022 season is underway, and it seems like Hamilton's grasp of the championship is slipping away from him, which may indicate that there wasn't many talent included in majority of those 7 championships. However, you couldn't exclude his amazing ability to drive and to sustain pressure, as there is no way that a driver can win 7 championships solely on luck. We hope that you found this video explaining the journey of Lewis Hamilton very interesting and educating. If you liked what you saw, please do not hesitate to leave us a like, subscribe, and turn on the notification button. That way you'll be up to date with our videos of an educational character, and you'll never miss a beat when it comes to F1 related information.